Hello, hello, and welcome to, or back to the Boyfriends Club. I am God Fissa, and what do we have? We have the tale of a man. We have the tale of a man who flew from LA to New York or New York to LA for a first date. So let's find out what that what happened. Let's hear his story. Again, I don't fully watch these um TikToks all in full before I so that I oh god words I don't watch them in full so that I can experience them with the two people who watch this. Um, okay, let's let him start.
Today is a special episode of Sheesh, What a Hunk. Where does it end with this guy? Because today, September 25th, marks the 10-year anniversary of the day that I boarded a plane and flew across the country from LA to New York to go on a first date. If you already read the story I read about this in Refinery 29 called My Girlfriend is Way More Successful Than I Am and 16 years older, then you don't need to keep watching this video. I was 25, living in LA. I was pursuing stand-up comedy. I was not getting paid to do it. I was doing bringer shows at the Comedy Store and other places. I think I did well enough that people who knew me didn't think I was delusional for pursuing it. But also, that's a tough mountain to climb. I was working at the Sunset Tower Hotel serving breakfast and lunch. About a year into this chapter, I realized two things. The first was, after kind of a long period of being unavailable, I felt like, oh wow, I think I could be ready. I think I'm open again. And the second realization came after I had some weird, bizarre, confusing, like kind of almost thing with this customer that like in the post-mortem, like what the hell happened autopsy, I was like, oh, I think I like missed whatever signal that like romance was on the table here, you know? No regrets. It definitely wasn't the right thing, but I just realized like, oh, this is an interactive exhibit. Then this VIP guest came and stayed, Laura Brown. She was the executive editor of Harper's Bazaar, and everyone.
Well, I don't know if I'll continue to like him, but um, that's very sweet how he thought of that relationship. Like, and that he might be like. I was just thinking on the way home tonight, like a thing that like people well like particularly women will say about when they've like been in a relationship for a long time that you have to, is that like I don't mean a long time like a couple of years, I mean like 20, 40 years. um and like kind of a classic thing to say is um you need to let him think whatever it is his idea first. And I was like, wow, I could really just like stack up boyfriends by like love bombing them and then leaving the situation just suddenly. I don't know why I took that to an evil place, but I was just like, I thought of it in a sweet way too. Like, you literally, like, there's one boyfriend who I don't think I've spoken about yet, but um, he was like, let's be friends, I'm not ready. Okay, bro, I'm gonna hear from you in the next like month or two. He's like, I'm so sorry, I didn't know. Like, it's annoying, but it's also kind of cute. Anyway, this guy seems nice.
I'm not Laura Brown. I hadn't met her yet. And I was like, I got to see what this is all about. Because I need to be liked desperately. So I waited on her, served her lunch, and I was just like, yeah, I get it. Like, every time I'm approached the table, I feel like light and warm.
She was like a bitch from
As a waiter, you have your
Harper's, I think.
Straight script, but then there's little opportunities to improv and slip little quips in. And if they don't like it right away, you just can that and stick straight to business. But with Laura, there was no little quip I could throw in that she wasn't delighted by, and then throw back, some other one in return. So there was that going for us, which was nice. And then she left, and then a month later she came back. I was like, oh, Miss Brown's staying here again. Like, I remember her. I like when she's here. And so I was waiting on her again, and same thing happened. And then, like, my coworkers commented on, like, what's going on with you and Miss Brown? I was like, what do you mean? You're, like, blushing every time you walk away from the table. I was like, maybe I am. So then I was like, well, maybe this is, like, what's happening here? And then the micro system, point of sale system malfunctioned, and we lost all the checks, which happens sometimes. So I ran out a blank sheet of paper, and I wrote her check on it. Huevos Ranchera, $16, tax, $1.08, subtitle, tip total, name, room number, and then under that, my hand just did this. Like, I didn't think about it. I just did it. My hand did it. I couldn't believe it. I just wrote another line, and I wrote phone number next to it. And I gave her the check, and I was like, here you go. And she was like, oh, thanks. I was like, no, like, look at it. And she looked at it. And then she wrote her number down. And then I had her number. And then I was like, oh, God, what do I do? So then I got scared. Like, this is a fireable offense. And she's so jolly. She'd be like, oh, guess what? Guess what you want to give away this to? So I got scared. I didn't know what to do. It's been a long shift. I went home and, like, chickened out. And then the next morning I got there early for the early setup shift. And my friend Danny on room service was like, hey, Miss Brown ordered breakfast. Do you want to bring it up?
Oh my god, that's such a cute thing to do. Like, I know you could have gotten in trouble, but slay. If a waiter did that to me, then I'm gonna use it. Look at this guy. He's still cute. I hope he doesn't do anything toxic. Let's see.
I was like, hell yeah. So I brought her tray up to her room and, like, knocked on the door. I was like, good morning. She was like, oh my god, get out. This is all wrong. Drop it on the floor. And, so, sorry, I know this is a lot, so early in the morning. Like 7, you know. And so I went back down. Danny was like, how'd it go? I was like, she kind of freaked out. He's like, oh, well, that's good way. That means she cares what you think. And then that's my Mexican accent. Don't you love it? Claro que sí, por supuesto. El güero está hablando con los clientes. Later, she came down after she'd been all, like, made up and stuff, and she's like, where's Brandon? I need to, she needed, as she says, to order a pointless juice. She needed to show what the real thing was, not the early morning wake-up version. I was very, like, bashful and sheepish about my, A, chickening out, and then B, like, assault. And then as she was leaving, grabbed my arm and said, text me tonight. I leave tomorrow. I dare you. Okay. But that night I had a college friend, Gabby, who was an MTV reporter.
Fuck Gabby.
Visiting for the VMAs. So my friend Nick and I went out to dinner with Gabby, catching up on old times. And Gabby was like, do you have any romance or anything happening? And I was like, well, I did get this lady's number. She's like, what do you mean lady? I was like, well, she's 41. Like, oh, okay. It's like she works in fashion at Harper's Bazaar. And Gabby was like, is it Laura Brown? I was like, yes, you know her? She's like, yeah, she's like my favorite person in fashion. Gabby was like, you have Laura Brown's number, and she leaves tomorrow, and you're here at dinner with me and Nick. I was like, well, yeah, we've made. She's like, oh my god. So we sort of, like, team texted her, and I said something like,
That's so damn cute. Like, I mean, like, yeah, he should have gone to see her, but also, I hope Laura Brown. I hope you're still dating this man because he's obsessed. And, like, is this what I have to look forward to, lady, ma'am? 41? Yes. Okay. Older is great right now, honestly.
I just know I have a long history of backing down from dares, so sending this message takes a whole lot of pluck. And Laura was like, this 25-year-old guy saying pluck. He was like, yeah, I mean, it's my bedtime. The next morning when she was leaving to go to the airport, I wrote her a note that I still remember. It said, Dear Laura, please remember me fondly as you traipse about the globe. Perhaps our paths will cross again someday. You would be so lucky. You're delightful even when you aren't trying to be. Love forever and always, Brandon. And then she wrote back on a little piece of paper, don't worry, we'll probably get married, XXLB. we started up a correspondence.
Yes,
and like, in
bitch.
the beginning, I think both of us just thought like, this is like a fun little thing. Then like to advance the plot, she was like, "You ever come to New York?" I said, "I have before. I will again." She said, "Well, you should come." And then I just opened a tab and looked up tickets, and there was like $600 round trip, and I had $600, so I was like, "Hey, I just booked it." My flight was on September 25th, 2015, and we met at the Carlisle, and we had rosé champagne and cheeseburgers, and then we went back to her place, and we had a whole weekend together, and it was very lovely, and now it's 10 years later, and we are married. And it's just changed, this whole relationship just changed my life in a huge way, and I love her so much, and we have a wonderful thing going. I'm just sharing that to gloat, because I'm stoked about it. Like, it can be easy and natural and good. So, I would say, treat yourself. Treat yourself to someone who makes you feel like it's easy, natural, and good. Sees the best version of you and brings it out in you. And just have a lovely life. And go to fashion shows. All right, bye. Today is a special episode of Sheesh.
That's a really unattractive face, but that is the happiest story that I've heard on TikTok. TikTok is kind of can be like doom and gloom because people are like, "Guess what happened to me? My life is ridiculous." Oh, I didn't know that would end in marriage. Laura Brown. Laura fucking Brown. You're a G. He's a cutie patootie. And now he just has this totally different life off of booking one flight. Honestly, I have a flight. I have a flight that I mean to book. And maybe, like, I already think that I'm going to marry this person, but maybe all I need to do is book a flight. I'm not telling you where to because that'll give it away. Oh, will it give it away? I don't know. There might be a few of them in the list. I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm not telling you either way. So one day he'll see this and he'll know that my trip to blank is me trying to marry him. He's not that much younger than me, but he is like, I think we're 10, he's 10 years younger than me. Something like that. Still not telling my age, but I think you kind of need to know my age to. Anyway, whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Marissa Brown did 25 to 41. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters. Y'all can suce ma peck, ma penne. That story was so cute that I'm blushing, honestly. I gotta go. Fuck out of here.